Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Nicole with MadeFromScrap, and I am here today to share this project that I made with you all. I used the Winter Magic paper collection, exclusively available from Country Craft Creations, so go to the website and check it out. This is their own paper line that Tamara has come up with, and this is the third project that I have made with this paper collection, and I still have a couple of sheets left on this, and yeah, so I will be making probably one more project later on. I'm going to put it in my stash for a while because I'm moving on to some Valentine's stuff, but it is beautiful. Make sure you check out the description box below where I will link all of those fun materials from Country Craft Creations that I have used in this project. This is seam binding that is also available from Country Craft Creations. There's many, many colors to choose from. Then the other things that I've used are some materials that I have picked up from the Dollar Tree. Oh my gosh, finding words is hard, okay? And that is just these two fabric scraps. I have this one on the outside, I have one on the inside that I used some pinking shears, and then I sandwiched in between those two material pieces using some Fabri-Tac glue, a paper bag. That's it. I cut this down into a piece that, let's see, measures just under, I guess it was 8 1/4 inches tall, and then, I don't know, the inside, let's see, 11 1/2 inches. Yeah, 11 1/2 inches wide. So I put this little metal piece on the outside here after I sewed on the seam binding, and then I just did some zigzag stitching around. I did some zigzag stitching here on what would be the spine piece, and then I just did some stitching here to pull in, and then I have just a plain back on this. But let's get started. So it is a true junk journal. It has pieces from all over the place. I have this piece that goes all the way across inside the cover that I went ahead and just sewed that in. And then I sewed it down the middle as well, and then it became two pockets here, one in the front and one on the back cover. These are just some cards that I've made in the past with some scraps. Then you have basically two signatures here. So this is one of the pieces from the beautiful collection. And then I have used distress glazing with my stamps. I pulled it out, so can you see that faint bit of a stamp? And then you have these. So I had a lot of fun. This is packaging from, I don't know, Design Team Package, purchase products from the box of all the materials that I got from Country Craft Creations. So I just spray it with some oxides and distress ink sprays, and then I used my embossing pad in order to, it's a glaze, right, to put the glaze on top of it, which is a powder, and then you heat emboss it, and it turns to this beautiful thing where you can see the color through because it's translucent. But I hope you can check that out. Then I also used some mica sprays as well. So I got out my crafty materials. Here is some tape, some fabric tape, a little piece of ribbon that I had left over in my stash, a little cutout piece that I had no rhyme or reason to the shape of it, but I just taped it on here so it could be a nice little cute flip. And then I raided my stash of previous made little embellishments and little pieces, these long strips of cardstock. What do you do with them? Well, I sat down one day and I used my border punches and made a bunch of these. Just punched the different edges with my border punches, and then I found little strips of scraps and I just layered them up. So some of them I sewed on, some of them I didn't, and so I just went through all of that bin and pulled out bits and bobs that I thought would match this paper collection from a color scheme. So this is a fun little tuck spot. There's plenty of spaces in here. Here is some of this, what is it, paste? What do you call this? Oh yeah, texture paste, translucent. So let's see if you can see it on here. I used my stencils. There you go, you can see it. Here's a little fabric piece that was from, I don't know, a Christmas packaging that I got, and then I used my pinking shears on the top and bottom and stuck it through here. Little piece of music paper. And then again, I used my glazes in order to stamp some fun little snowflakes on. I think this is Lost Shadow color. So it's a nice gray that matches with the paper. Then I have some, you know, junk mail. Stamp some stuff on here. Stuffed a little pocket here. I cut off the edge so it could become a pocket. Here's one of the ephemera pieces from the collection. Another piece from the collection. I just put a piece of fabric tape here that I flipped it over and stuck it to itself in the page. So then I have some fun little tuck spots here that I've created. This was a leftover piece from that black fabric. And this is just an envelope that I've had in my junk stash. I still need to cover this side, but I did cut off this opening so that I'll have a pocket here. So I'll have a pocket page. Then we have a fun little pocket here. This is another thing that I've done with my strips in the past. So I just went ahead and made a monochromatic stripe piece, and that was in my stash already of bits and bobs, and so I just rounded the corners, put some distress ink around the outside, and called it a pocket. Okay, this is another stamping with glaze on it here, and then this is coffee dyed paper. So here's another piece from the collection, some odds and ends that I grouped together, cut a little tag. Isn't it cute? Here's another fun little tuck spot. I like how this shows through on this graph paper that I had coffee dyed. So you can see that embossing just a little bit through the paper because it's a thin paper. That's another piece from the collection. I have a paper bag in here so that I can put a fun little tuck there. Okay, got a couple pieces here of this notebook paper. Then this is a piece of, oh my gosh, what do you call this stuff? Rice paper that I've had in my stash because, you know, can't throw anything out. So it's a piece left over from a prior project, and I thought it was beautiful. So it matches now. And then here's another piece from the collection. I had this long strip, so I decided to use the twine that I got in my design team package. Here's one of the ephemera pieces that I used a circle punch, and then I just made this little fold out. And then you can see that this is the center of the signature. Okay, so that just wraps around and then wraps around there. And then I put a button that I got from my last design team package on there as well. Okay, and this is the back side of that first signature. So I'll flip through it. Still plenty of spaces to do some decorating, right? There's a nice little coffee dyed, yeah, what do you call those things? Doily. Paper collection, cut apart there. Nice little cute little thing that, you know, probably most people would have thrown out. And I just made a little collage here of things. Here's another piece from the cut aparts. And I just used my tiny attacher, put a little ribbon on the side of it. There we go. Another fun little tuck spot here, just glued down. There's some paste, texture paste I use with a stencil. Another stamp. And I glued two 4x6 cut aparts together, but I offset them, and then I glued them onto this top part of the envelope, if you can see that. So see that angled piece right there? I'll probably put something down here and here maybe to cover up the sticky part, but anyway, now I have a little pocket in here. Isn't that cute? Okay. Keep it going. This is the other side of the envelope, so see, still need to cover that up. But this is another one of the cut aparts. Music piece. Now this is the other side of that fabric piece. I just used my scissors, cut a couple of slits in there, and fished ribbon from Country Craft Creations through there. This is the gold and champagne. It's double-sided. Right here, satin ribbon. I think it's 3/8 inch wide. I'll link that below as well. And I have some more of that translucent texture paste on there. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was like icicle looking, right? Really cold. Then I have a couple more glazed pieces. Sorry if you hear my husband in the background. Being rude. There's a little belly band I made with just some snippets of leftover. This is an old envelope that I made in the past, and I thought that the color scheme went really well with this. So that will get decorated up more, and then just sets right in there. Okay, keep on flipping. And then we're going to get to this. Oh, we just started the next signature. So here is some more stamps that I used and glazed. There's a card that of just junk mail that I had received, and I cut off the bottom part that had the little advertisement on it, and then on the back side I went ahead and put a piece of my colors cardstock on there. So now I have a fun little embellishment envelope from my grandson. Again, I cut off the end here, and I'll cover this up with something else that we make. So I have a fun little pocket. And here, this piece right here, so this had a little home on it. I basically spritzed and sprayed on top of this thing with oxides and inks and mica sprays just to give it a deeper look. I don't know, like a snowstorm, right? But really the reason that I was doing this, and I'll tell you, is because there is an image of a snowman on this side of the paper that I just don't care for so much. So, but I like the rest of it, so I decided, let me just go with it. I will have some fun with my sprays. And that's what I did. And so here's another little envelope piece that I folded in with just some stacked scraps on there. And again, this is cut here so that I can put something in there. Okay, another piece of my colors I can add to. Made another little pocket out of another little scrap piece, and this is just a piece from the collection. Probably need to round the corners on that one so I can go in. Here's another cut apart from the collection. Okay, nice spots for journaling. This is the other side of that envelope, obviously, so I can decorate that. And then this is that part that I was covering up, so I used some seam binding. And then this is an envelope that I got I don't know, a card from Miss Anne Marie from. And so I'm just reusing that. I'll decorate the inside with some paper, but right now I just layered the outside. I used a cut apart here, and then I used a gold pen to outline the edge of that cut apart. So that makes a fun little tuck spot there. And then I also did some little stitching around the edge of this top opening piece with that gold pen. Okay, here I used some a stencil for snow, and then this is a card that I had made with some scraps. So I used an embossing folder for a piece underneath, and then I stitched together some stuff and then just kept adding to it. A nice little journal spot here for photos, whichever. But this is also attached to the top of an envelope. Okay, so I just glued it on there, used a gold pen to do some little doodling. We have some stamps here. These from the collection. This is an envelope that I received in a swap, but I thought the colors were beautiful with this. Pulled this out of my stash, and then I think I have these stuck together, so I need to do something here. More stencil with texture paste for snow falling, but I couldn't resist putting it on this one with the little snowmen. Okay, and then again with that translucent texture paste right there. It's really fun. And then I just made a little fun little tuck spot for my little squirrel. Here's a die cut piece that I just used the negative portion of, and again, border punch, went ahead, and this is mica sprays. And here's one of the cut aparts from the collection. So I thought with the leaf that would go well, and I wanted to add some different color to this page. Fun little bunnies. And then this is the back, and so we have another little pocket here with some little strip pieces for a card in there. So I hope that you have enjoyed this little walkthrough. It was very fun to put together, and yeah, it's a good way to use your scraps. So all I do is wrap this around and then tuck it underneath, and that's it. So I hope, again, that you do something with your scraps, and I hope this gives you an idea of how to use them. Until next time, everybody, happy scrapping you all. Goodbye.